Damian on Design every Saturday on the Lucy Ann Land Show on Ann Arbor's Talk Station, 1290 WLBY. And if you'd like to go and review past episodes with Damian, he is Damian Farrell from Damian Farrell Design Group. You can go online to lucyannlance.com under Featured Contributors. You'll see Damian on Design. Just click in there, and all of our past episodes are podcast on there, including the building of a house for me,
Yes.
all sorts of different
Right.
things. We've talked about the auto show and the design of cars. It's about how design plays a really important role in our lives, and we welcome back Damian Farrell.
Oh, that's great. Always good to be here.
You know, last week we talked about getting outdoors and enjoying our environment and
Right.
doing it in a way that's very comfortable. Today we bring the indoors inside. And with us is Bob Clark, and Bob Clark is with Four Seasons Sunrooms of Ann Arbor. Great to see you again. You were
Thank
at
you very much.
the
Thanks for
show.
coming, Bob.
We were out at the Farm Council grounds a few months ago with you and
Very
had a
true.
great time.
Very
So,
true, yep.
yeah, nice
Good
to
show.
see you.
Good
How,
show.
how did you get into business in the first place? It's been a lot, what, 30 years for you now?
Yeah.
Building sunrooms?
Yeah. I started with the group out of the Warren, Michigan area. Actually, from a Detroit aspect, everybody knows Mr. Belvedere. And I began with Mr. Belvedere as driving a truck and keeping my ears and eyes open and my mouth shut, as I say, and learning the business. Great people to learn from, and then went from there over to a company on the east side which built their own sunroom here in Michigan, and worked for them for 15 years and helped run their company. I was their general manager / sales manager.
And today you're in business with your wife too, right?
I am, yeah. Now it's the real thing.
Yeah, that's right. And you're located where?
We're located on Jackson Road, 6055 Jackson Road. We're just west of Zeeb. If you were shopping at Lowe's, which a lot of people do, and you were leaving Lowe's to come back east, to come out of town, I'm the first turnaround. It's straight across the street.
You're very different, I think, than other operations that build sunrooms. And how is that?
Well, from a business standpoint, we like to think that family run and staying local is good for the clientele. I run 80% of my projects. I do have a very good team that works with me. But with my experience and guidance, we keep pretty tight with the clients.
I think, too, design plays an important part, Damian, in
Yeah.
how he does his business, how
Absolutely.
Bob Clark does this.
Because I think Four Seasons, in a sense, is sort of the Kleenex, if you will. And I mean that, you know, when people think of sunrooms and those kinds of additions, the name Four Seasons is probably the most popular one, and the one most referred to. And it's been around a long time, Bob, hasn't it? What's a
Yeah.
brief history on the company and its...
It started out with two Italian gentlemen out of New York building rooms out of their mother's garage.
I love it.
And they evolved it into a very large organization located on Long Island in New York, and has now been moved over to a group out of England own us.
Oh,
And
really? Okay.
yeah, so it's really become, not only we love the European hardware, we love a lot of things about the way they design over there, and they've brought it back to us, and it's really made it quite comfortable for the clients and for us.
Well, and I think what's most noticeable in terms of design is this doesn't look like something that was just thrown on the back of a house. It
Right.
looks integrated to the whole environment.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
You know, again, many other companies, and not to throw stones, I live in a glass house, is that we like to give the customer the opportunity to fit the home, as you said. There are many people that don't want to have a unit on the back of the house that say, oh my gosh, look what the neighbors did. And it is always about budget. So with the Four Seasons product, because we have 16 different rooms and 30 different options in those rooms, we're able to design according to the customer's budget and needs.
Well, you've really, the company's really evolved in that, hasn't it? I mean, some of the earliest or some of the first products were really the kinds of things that I think we're all very familiar with, the curved roof edition, small spaced generally,
Correct.
black aluminum
Correct.
edition.
Correct.
I mean, I look through the portfolio now, I mean, I'm seeing things that look like real conservatories, which I'm assuming might be some of the influence from your English
Well, with your
tie into the company now.
actually, Four Seasons had always offered conservatories, and we were one of
Okay.
the onlys that did. And when the European group started looking at us, they were looking at who could take our conservatory products and offer it in the U.S. And so it really was a good marriage. It is a very popular style. I mean, the Victorian is, I would say, I probably sell 40% to 60% in the conservatory style. people look at them and they think, oh my gosh, it's got to be very expensive because it's got such a rich look, and the truth of the matter is it's not. It can be done in an economical way with the aluminum interiors until somebody starts to fall in love with the wood interiors, then they're going to jump themselves a bit. But yeah, the conservatory has really helped the business quite a bit.
I don't know if people realize that sunrooms can have that different kind of products besides just the aluminum that we often see on the back of houses.
I still sell majority aluminum, I really do. It is definitely a price issue, but if you bring in some conventional at the bottom, a base wall, you know, something to blend it into the house, whether it's stone or siding or whatever the house decor on the back
And you can do all of that.
Yes.
We even looked at one house where you actually did landscaping for the house too.
We do that too.
Very nice patio.
Yeah, we link up with a company called Clink Landscaping. They've been in business also for over 35, 40 years. And we work together. I've got a very large project right now in Scioto Church, just west of Z, very visible from the road, an old farmhouse. And
I can't wait to drive by.
it's in progress. We've built a mother-in-law suite for them at this point, and then the conservatory goes up next week.
Lovely.
Oh, look out for it. That's my area of town. Yeah.
And that's actually going to be, the way we took that, they really want to have a conservatory, but for the look of the house, but at the same time they really want to have a plant room. It's all for plants, so we've designed it accordingly that we're putting pavers as a floor on the inside.
Okay.
It's raised about 3.5 feet off the ground, but when she waters, that will go straight through the pavers and out to a drainage system.
Oh
They
my
don't have to concentrate.
goodness,
Yeah, they
that's
don't have to concentrate.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And see, this is the whole integration. We talk about bringing the indoors and the
Right.
outdoors in.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's about the seamless integration of the two different environments, right, Damian?
Absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah. And Bob, it's no secret now that there's such a huge focus on energy, heat loss and so on. You know, I look at these are all glass structures. How's the technology changed?
Since I began with Four Seasons, I actually started with Four Seasons, I would say approximately 15 years ago. The coatings on the glass, low E, everybody's
We're all familiar with
seen to know
low,
from the low E, right?
Yeah.
One single metallic coating. Please make sure there's argon gas in there. And, you know, and people take their guards down. They think argon gas, they think, you know, low E, good glass. Truth of the matter is, if low E is 1970 technology, and what Four Seasons said is either the solarium market, if you really look at it closely, and you used to go to the builder shows down at Cobo Hall, we all remember them, they were huge,
Right.
and you could walk through there and you would see probably 15 to 20 companies offering glass roofs.
Yeah.
And now it's a money decision. Who do I go with? What do I do? So, but when you look now, those are all gone. They're all out of business. And what happened? It went down to technology. It went down to, I love my room. It's too hot in the summer, too cold in the winter.
Yeah.
So that's not a love. That's, you know, now the energy has become the green, and let's make sure. So what Four Seasons did is they've taken it from low E, single metallic coating, to 12 metallic coatings. And the final coating, which is the 12th, is an exterior coating, which gives it what we call a clean coat surface to the exterior. If you've ever used Rain-X on your windshield, it gives it the same feature, but it's permanent. It's nothing you ever have to reapply.
So the water goes into droplets and then runs off.
Correct.
Doesn't
But
streak.
from the energy standpoint, you know, the relative heat gain, and I don't mean to get too technical, but the relative heat gain on a piece of low E glass is 170 BTUs of heat per square foot of glass per hour. Our overhead is 39. Our vertical is 65.
Wow.
So now if we're not letting the heat in from the sunshine, or overbearing heat, then we're not allowing the heat out in the wintertime, so we can afford to heat them now.
You showed us a picture of a house that had a glass roof on the top,
Yes, correct.
sunroom,
Correct.
and it was over their kitchen.
Correct.
And it was a snowy day, and there was snow on that glass. Normally, that glass would not have
Yeah,
that
that's
snow
what you
on
would
it
expect, is that it would
yeah,
melt.
snow would dissipate in moments if you
because
look at any
the
restaurant.
heat's going out.
Correct.
And you don't want that. You want to. It's Four Seasons.
Correct.
You want to be able to enjoy
Yeah.
this.
Right,
Four
and
Seasons.
that'll happen on the northern exposure, but all the other rooms, when the sun does hit, if we look at our house and we look at the shingled roof that we have in our home, and we face south to one elevation, we face north to the other elevation. We see the snow on the north side stay, we see the snow on the south side go away. And it's not really the loss of energy on the inside of the house if it's insulated correctly, it's really so much the sun exposure.
Okay.
So on most of the exposures, west, east, and south will dissipate and go from the outside though, not from the inside.
Well, we learned that when you were designing the mock home for me, Damian,
yeah.
about where you're situating different rooms depending on the exposure you're getting in there. It makes all the difference.